Welcome to the MAM Journals. Some of you may recall that a little while ago I did a full MAM journal on the ZRX1200R, and I was very taken by the bike, which was lent to me by a friend, and I thought I'm going to go see if I can find one of those because I really did like it. And I've managed to find one. So what I'm going to do is just walk you around this one and show you what's standard OE equipment and what's been retrospectively fitted, albeit virtually immediately by the supplying dealer, and then I'll talk about my immediate plans as to what I'm going to do with the bike. Right, so let's just start off with a standard and non-standard equipment. If you look at the front there, you can see it's got a front bobbin, and you can also see at the end of the front mudguard, or fender as they're known in other parts of the world, there's been an extension put on, clearly matching bobbin at the back. And there's been a givey rack. Now these givey racks are very good, but actually I've got other bikes which I can chore on, so I'll be taking that off because the original owner, it's a one owner bike, has kept the handles, and I'll be replacing those appropriately. So in terms of immediate plans for the bike, well, the first thing I want to do, or one of the early things I'll do, is Nigel, the previous owner, explained why the tape was on there. And if you look very carefully, you can see just above the tape there's a slight blister, and that's because he was bringing it back from the Isle of Man, and a bike fell on it in the ferry, so he just sort of marked it up. But I'll actually get that off and repainted correctly. The other things I'm going to do, because although the bike has been serviced by both the owner and the dealer, I'd like to get everything on an even keel, and so that I can base my own maintenance later on, knowing exactly where I am with it. So I'll be getting the coolant changed, I'll be getting the valves adjusted. I may, because it's only done 300 miles in the last 2 years, I may actually see if the people who are going to do the work recommend ultrasonic treatment of the carbs, depending on whether they're slightly gummed up or not. The bikes run perfectly well on ethanol, as owners will know, but it doesn't sit well in carburetors for any length of time. I'll also, of course, be getting an oil and filter change, as indeed I'll be changing the air filter under there. He's actually put a K and N filter in, but I'll be going back to the original. I like bikes original if I can possibly manage it. One other modification, I'm not a big fan of modifying bikes, although I have no problem with others doing it. In the main, I keep mine original, but there is actually a well-known fault with these bikes, and I'm going to try and show you if I can, if the light allows me. Under here, you can see there's another casing inside, and you can see it actually reasonably well on the camera. It's got some slight marks on it, and how it gets those marks is there's a starter chain ratchet mechanism just to the right hand side there, and it doesn't always quite release, so it catches the casing. Now, catching the casing is not a problem, but if it stops it altogether and jams, it's a fairly major detonation. So for the sake of the small amount of money it costs to get it a modified part put in, I shall be doing that. The best ones apparently come from America. They're called Quick, and I'll be getting one of those and asking the people to do it at the time. While we're here, you can see it's actually got crash bars fitted. Now, those were retrofitted immediately by the dealer, and I actually think that they are Kawasaki crash bars, but if anybody knows any different, then please let me know in the comments below. I'm interested in getting my facts as accurate as I can. I actually rode the bike to meet a group of people at a local cafe at the weekend, and they were members of the ZRX1100 and 1200 Facebook group. And what a helpful and knowledgeable group they were, and gave me some good tips as to the things to look for. And one of them, John, has recommended that I try a garage in the Slough area called PDQ, who he's had experience of and felt they were very good on this type of bike. So I shall be visiting them to see if they can get it all up to scratch for me initially. So I also, when I rode, Nigel, the previous owner, when I went over to meet the group, it was actually patchy rain with the odd showers, and the tyres felt a little bit disconnected. So looking at the dating of them on the stamp on the sidewalls, it looks like they were manufactured in the 35th week of 2014. So I'll probably put some fresh rubber on as well, just to get it up to where I want it to be. Interesting story on the bike. The more observant of you will take one look at that and go, but they didn't import them in 2008. And you are, of course, absolutely right. This apparently, this came from Cradley Kawasaki, who are one of the biggest Kawasaki dealers in Europe, and they bought the last 5. And this is the last one of the 5. So it may actually be one of the very last registered in the UK, although I have no doubt in the years to come somebody will have kept one in a crate and it will emerge from the mists in absolutely immaculate condition. I like my bikes in very nice condition, but I do like to ride them. And I ride each of my bikes every year for various degrees of mileage, depending on comfort and time. So anyway, that's the story of the latest addition to what I shall grandly call the collection. And hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you did, if you'd be kind enough to press like, and not that I do this channel for commercial reasons in any shape or form, but it's nice to know I'm not actually just talking to myself. And if you could also subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and as an alternative for people who like shorter updates, then please feel free to connect on my Michael MAM Facebook page, and I'll be happy to welcome you there, and you can see things which I just talk about motorcycles really for briefer periods. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'm very pleased with my new edition.